Our topic for today is all about stages in the life cycle of an organism. Do you ever wonder how different animals turn into beautiful and adorable creatures? Are you aware of the different stages that they undergo for them to become an adult organism? In this lesson, we will talk about different stages in the life of an organism, but before heading to the topic, let us first discuss the different terminologies you need in understanding this science concept. The first one is metamorphosis. Metamorphosis is a biological process by which an animal physically develops after hatching or birth. Ang metamorphosis ay isang prosesong biological na kung saan ang isang hayop ay sumasailalim sa pagbabagong pisikal matapos itong maipanganak. Ito ay bahagi na tinatawag na life cycle. Life cycle, a period involving one generation of an organism. Any life cycle ay mga bahagi o tagpo sa buhay ng isang organismo sa isang henerasyon. It is a series of changes in form that an organism undergoes returning to the starting state. Ang life cycle ay ang tuloy-tuloy na pagbabagong pisikal ng isang organismo hanggang siya ay tuluyang tumanda at magsimula ulit ng panibagong henerasyon. Insects are part of nature. Most of them are small, but they help in maintaining a balanced environment. They belong to the largest group in the animal kingdom. Nabubuhay sila sa iba't ibang uri ng habitat kung saan sila ay nag-a-adapt, bagamat sila ay maliit. They undergo a series of development from an egg to fully grown organism. This process called metamorphosis. There are two types of metamorphosis. The first one is gradual or incomplete metamorphosis, and the second one is complete metamorphosis. Let us first discuss the complete metamorphosis. Complete metamorphosis. Most insects undergo 4 stages of development called complete metamorphosis. These include egg, larva, pupa, and adult. Egg. The first stage when a female insect lays an egg. Every insect starts in this stage. The second one is larvae. Larvae, this stage starts when the egg hatches, but the insect do not look like an adult insect. For an instance, the larvae of butterflies are caterpillar. The larvae grow quickly enough to mold or shed their exoskeleton a few times. Sa bahaging ito ng kanilang pagbabagong anyo, ay paulit-ulit silang nagpapalit ng balat upang sila ay maging handa sa susunod na pagbabagong kanilang pagdaraanan. Sometimes, this stage of changes called instars. The third stages of metamorphosis is pupa. It is when the larvae make a cocoon around themselves and become busy changing into adult forms. Sa bahaging ito, ay hindi sila kumakain at sa halip ay nasa loob lang sila ng cocoon. This stage takes few days, or in some cases, it takes a month. After that stage, we have the last stages is adult. After a period of time, larva is nothing like it was before and exit the cocoon as an adult. This life cycle starts all over again. Now that we have learned the 4 wonderful stages of development of complete metamorphosis, let us take a look at the amazing transformation of an organism that undergoes this process. Look, lumabas na siya sa cocoon. Ayan, naging butterfly na siya, di ba? Ang ganda niya ng tignan. Aside from butterflies, some of the insects that undergo complete metamorphosis include mosquito, fly, ant, flea, beetle, moth, and wasp. Ayan yung mga yan. Now let us discuss the insect that undergo groundwork or incomplete metamorphosis. It is slightly different from the previous process that instead of 4 stages, this process includes 3 stages only. The first one is eggs, starts when a female insect lays an egg. The second one is nymph, start when the egg hatches and nymphs comes out. And the last one is adult, no longer sled exoskeleton and have permanent wings. Their primary purpose is to mate and reproduce. Ayan, so yung mga itlog na ito ay naka-enclose sa isang case with a protective layer. Once na napisa na ang mga itlog na ito ay lalabas ang isang nymph. Yung nymph na halintulad ng adult, pero yung anyo ng adult na insect na iyon ay wala pang mga pakpak. So yung nymph start when the egg hatches and nymph comes out na. Yung nymphs normally mold or change their exoskeleton before they become a full-grown insects. Ang mga nymph ay karaniwang nagkakaranas ng pagpapalit ng kanilang balat bago sila tuluyang maging isang adult insect. Ang mga insekto na ito ay nasa adult stage na din. So kapag nasa adult na sila, no longer sled exoskeleton at have permanent wings. May mga pakpak na sila. So, pag naging adult na sila, doon na lumalabas ang kanilang mga pakpak. So, I have here activity. Arrange the following according to the correct sequence. Ayan. So, may instruction niya dyan. Construct the life cycle of a mosquito. So, itong mosquito ito. Ayan. So, ilalagay niyo kung ano ba siya. Yung number 1 ba ay nymph, adult, egg, or larva. Effects of the environment of the life cycle of organism. The environment plays an important role in the life cycle of organism. Along their developmental process, organisms interact with non-living materials such as water, air, and soil as primary components of their habitat. As our organism grow, it expected that they socialize with other organisms which could be their means of food. Kaya naman, importante ang ating kapaligiran sa ating paglaki at pagtugon sa ating mga gampanin base na rin sa anong uri ng organismo tayo nabibilang. Pero bago tayo magsimula sa ating topic, let's define the different terminologies that you need to understand the science concept. The first one is ecology. Ecology is a branch of science that deals with study of the many relationships and interaction of living things with one another and their environment. Ang ecology ay isang sangay ng siyensa na may kinalaman sa pag-aaral sa mga relasyon, koneksyon at interaksyon ng mga nilalang na may buhay sa pamamagitan nila at sa kanilang environment. Ang mga interaksyon na ito sa pamamagitan ng mga living things or pagitan ng mga living things at sa kanilang kapaligiran ay may kinalaman sa kanilang pamumuhay. Ito ay tinatawag na ecosystem. To understand our world better, ecologists classify the nature world into the 3 main levels. These are populations, communities, and ecosystem. Ecologists is a group of people who study the interaction of living things and their environment. The second one is population, a group of same kind or species of living things that live in one area called habitat at a given time. Ang populasyon ay isang grupo ng mga nilalang na may buhay na kabilang sa isang uri na naninirahan sa isang lugar sa isang tiyak na panahon. Next is community. Community is a group of animals and plants populations living together in the same environment. Ang komunidad ay isang grupo ng mga hayop at mga halaman na naninirahan sa isang lugar. The next one is ecosystem. Ecosystem is the largest and most complex level of organism. Organization. Ecosystem is the largest and most complex level of organization, consists of all animals, plants, and microorganisms with function with all environmental factors such as sunlight, climate, soil, water, air, nutrients, and energy. Ang ecosystem ang pinakamalaki at pinakakomplikadong antas ng organisasyon sapagkat ito ay binubuo ng lahat ng mga pangkat ng halaman, hayop at maliliit na organismo na kumikilos kasama ng mga salik ng mga kapaligiran tulad ng araw, klima, lupa, tubig, hangin, nutrisyon at ng enerhiya. There are 6 elements that keep the ecosystem going. These are the sun, producers, abiotic factors, primary consumers, secondary consumers, and decomposer abiotic. Abiotic factor. Things without life. There are also called non-living things. So ito yung mga walang buhay na kinabibilangan ng sun, water, air, and soil. The second is biotic factor, things with life. They are also called living things. So, ayan naman, yung may mga buhay. Halimbawa, ito ay mga plants and animals. Producers, mainly composed of green plants, such as trees and grasses. They can make their own food through the process of photosynthesis. Next, we have primary consumers. Primary consumers consist of plants-eating animals that we called herbivores. Ang primary consumers ay binubuo ng mga hayop na kumakain ng mga halaman. Secondary consumers. Secondary consumers consist of animals that eat on other animals. They are called carnivore. Secondary consumers ay binubuo ng mga hayop na kumakain ng kanilang kapwa hayop o ng karne. Lastly, we have decomposers. Decomposers break down dead plants and animals and turn it into nutrients. So, ang decomposers ay binubuo ng mga organismo na tumutunaw o kumakain ng mga patay na hayop o halaman na ginagawa nilang pataba o nutrisyon sa lupa. These components naturally connect to one another to sustain life in the ecosystem. Food is essential to every living organism to carry out life processes and important interaction. Organisms interact with other organisms in many beneficial ways. However, some interaction causes harm to other organisms. The environment where an organism lives is important for them to survive. This can be their source of food that they can depend on their daily living. Tulad natin, kailangan natin ng tubig at pagkain upang mabuhay na nakukuha naman natin sa ating kapaligiran. Kinakailangan din natin ng damit at tirahan na dito din natin makukuha o matatagpuan. Paano nga ba nagkakaroon ng interaksyon sa ating kapaligiran? The sun provides the energy needed to make food. The plants are producers, uses the light energy coming from the sun to make food in the process of photosynthesis. Ang mga halaman naman na ito ay magsisilbing pagkain para sa mga primary consumers o mga hayop na kumakain ng halaman. Sumunod naman dito ay ang mga secondary consumers na kumukuha sa mga karne ng iba pang hayop. O sila yung mga kumakain ng karne ng mga hayop. Ang mga halaman at mga hayop na ito, kapag sila naman ay namatay, ay kukuhain naman ng mga decomposer at tutunawin sila upang maging pataba sila sa lupa. Ang mga nutrients naman ng mga ito ay gagamitin ng mga halaman sa tulong ng light energy upang gumawa ulit ng food sa pamamagitan ng process ng photosynthesis. Ang interaction na ito sa kapaligiran ay paulit-ulit lang na mangyayari. Yan. So, yung mga yan, yung cycle na yan, paulit-ulit lang yung mangyayari. Yun at yun lang din ang kanilang proseso. Yan. Maraming salamat sa pakikinig. Don't forget to subscribe. God bless us all. Bye-bye!